anyone that has matched, they should start thinking about their statement of need. Oh, yes.
Yes, 2019. What is that? And can you just explain that for us, please? Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Aoyetoran. You're watching Journey to MD. If this is your first time here, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if it's not your first time, welcome back. So today I'm very excited because I have a special guest with me. His name is Dr. Jeremiah Owunzurumba, and he is doing his residency in anesthesiology in Springfield, Massachusetts. Thank you for being here. You want to say hi to the people?
Hello, people.
So I brought Dr. Jeremiah here to talk about what happens after the match process. You know, in medical school, we're all looking forward to that match day, and we kind of forget what happens after, and nobody really mentions this, at least for a lot of IMGs, I would say.
Right.
And so he has so graciously agreed to come and just walk us through the process, seeing that he's matched and now he's almost done his first year of residency. Do you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself, what you do, before we get into it?
Actually, sure. So you heard my name, Jeremiah. That's my name. Jerry-O for short. I'm not even used to this whole doctor thing, to be honest. So I was born and raised in Nigeria, and then I went to the US for graduate for undergrad, and then medical school. But as you all know, getting into medical school, if you're not a citizen or a resident in the US, is next to impossible. You need to be the best of the best. So I tried.
Which you are.
I tried. Didn't work out, but I got to learn about St. George's, and I made that choice, and it was one of the best choices I ever made. And then anesthesiology, that's my specialty. Honestly, funny enough, it was something that I got to know about in my third year. So it's never too late to find out what you want to do. So people, it might be their fourth year, but yeah, it was my third year, and that's where I got to love it. And that's when I decided to do anesthesiology. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for telling us a little bit about yourself. And I love that you said that, for some people, you know what you're going into right from the start. For some people, you figure it out as you go. So that's really interesting. Okay. So let's just get into the gist for the day. So what happens after you matched? So, there's a lot of people who have matched now, and unfortunately some people who have not. And, either way, there's no, both sets of people, whether you've matched or not, you've done a lot, you're an MD, that's impressive. But so what happens after you match? Just give us a general gist of those 3 months before you go into your residency.
Right. So it's great you've matched, and I actually noticed that the programs who do accept people on J1, they're really on top of it. So the moment you match, they're already communicating with you about licensing. They're already working on getting your contract and for you to sign that. And these two things are actually very crucial. And then lastly, they're already working on getting DS2019 done. That part, of course, it's still complex because it's ECFMG, and then it's your program working together. But they are all aware of that, and they start you off early. So that's a good thing. Some programs might be slower than others, but they're pretty good about communicating about those things. So yeah, the program, they start to talk to you, but then we also have to go back to our home country. I think that's the best thing I would advise people. To go back to their home country if they can. But if you can't, then that's fine. So I think going back to your home country, you're just more aware of how things work there, because you have to go back, get your statement of need. And that's the main document that you need if you're going to be working as a J1, on a J1 status. Yeah. Except if somehow you manage to get an H1 visa. I haven't even heard of anyone.
I want to be your friend.
like I want to know whoever has been able to do that,
Exactly.
but I don't really know anybody. Everyone does the J1. So you have to get the statement of need because it's basically a document that's saying the country that you're from wants you to be trained in this foreign country so that you can go back and help their country. That's what that document means.
Yeah.
In like
Okay.
technically that's what it's about. So that's what we actually need to start working on. Anyone that has matched, they should start thinking about their statement of need. But they don't have to be physically in the country to start to work on that.
Yeah. So how does that work? Getting your statement of need? Because I know,
Mhm.
okay, so I'm getting my statement of need from Canada and I can speak from that perspective, but you're Nigerian, so you're getting your
Mhm.
statement of need from Nigeria. Can you just walk us through that process for those who are in the same boat?
Of course. So it requires a few documents. Definitely, they want to see, okay, where did you go to school? They want to see if you're an actual doctor for real, because you're writing that you're a doctor. So they want to see proof that you are an actual doctor. They also want to see like transcripts, and they don't have to
Okay.
be official transcripts. They want to get a letter on your behalf to someone who is a civil servant or just works for the state. It could be a lawyer. It could be like someone who works maybe in the like for state level or in the government level, and then they can actually write that letter on your behalf saying that I attest that I know this person and this person is a doctor and he needs to be trained outside. And then with that, you can actually go in. I think there's also a fee as well to pay. And then you can now start the process of getting the letter.
Okay. That makes
Mhm.
sense. I guess that's why you said going back to your home country would be beneficial. It's not necessary, but like
Right,
somebody
right.
who can always, write it for you.
Mhm.
For those in Canada, I'm just going to because I sent my statement of needs in yesterday. So I think
Okay.
you just go on the government website and
Mhm.
you literally Google statement of need application, and they require you to fill out a document, your passport or your something that proves that you're a resident needs to be notarized, and then the US match page because I don't have my contract yet. So
Okay.
that's for those who are in North America if you guys wanted to know that. But yeah, thank you for walking us through that.
Yes.
So you mentioned a form that the name is escaping me now, DS09,
2019. Oh
DS
yes.
2019. What is that? And can you just like explain that for us, please?
So that form for people who have schooled in the US, you would remember the I-20 and how like it was almost as if that form was more important than your student visa. If you didn't have that form with you when you traveled, you were not. It was going to be hard to get back into the country, into the US. So that's how this DS 2019 is. You need that form on you if you're traveling out because it's more important than having your visa, your actual like J1 visa on you. So the DS 2019, it would need the ECFMG certificate
Okay.
before you can actually get it. So honestly, we have to backtrack. You need your ECFMG certificate,
Yeah, let's start from that.
and that takes a while. And that depends on the last day you finish your classes, like the last
Yeah.
credit from St. George's University.
Okay.
So some people, they've already like finished up, all their requirements by March, but some people might have to wait till May. So that just like getting your certificate depends on when you finish your courses, and then you also have to get in touch with like the clinical coordinators. You know how everyone has like a clinical advisor, so they have to approve that you finished all your courses and you passed, and then they will now they will actually make the document to send to ECFMG for them to actually make the certificate. And so it's with that certificate that we now actually apply for the DS 2019,
Hold on.
as
So
well as the
if you finish in May,
yes.
there's literally like 2 months, not even before residency starts. And I know the certificate can take up to a month.
Yes.
So any advice for people in that situation? Is there anything you can do to make the process a bit more streamlined?
I think so. Unfortunately, you can't do anything about when you're finishing. That's the given, right? But I think you can disturb your coordinators. And they know it too. They know this is crunch time. So a lot of them are aware of how important it is for the international students. So they will actually be replying. Some will reply faster than others. So that's one thing you can do. And then in the meantime, I think getting everything else on making sure you already have your statement of need and not waiting until you've gotten your certificate is very important too. I think just making sure that that's already gotten, making sure that your license has been signed, because the DS2019, I think it also requires the licensing to be complete. So whatever state you're going to, whether it's Florida, each one has its own different requirements, but you need to be licensed. So get that done as well. And then just have this certificate as the only thing that you're waiting for. And in some places, it's hard to really know what date is available for an interview, for a visa interview. So I think doing your research and trying to see, okay, what's the closest date available is very important. Granted, without the DS2019, you can't schedule your appointment. You can't do that, but at least you can get an idea of, what date is available. And some people actually have to do an emergency visa appointment.
Wow. Yeah. But you pay a lot for that, I'm sure.
You do. Actually, you can do it yourself. So you can do it yourself, or you can get someone else to help you do it. But I know people that got people to do it for them to get the request for the emergency appointment. And I know people that did it themselves, and they were still able to get the emergency appointment. So either way, it's possible.
Yeah, that's so important because I know a couple of people actually, who delayed their residency start because their ECFMG certificate hadn't come in on time and they hadn't done some other things they needed to do. So, like you said, get everything else ready and just make sure it's just the certificate that we're waiting on.
Correct. Oh, and then a little thing that can be missed is addresses. Because the ECFMG certificate is a physical document that will be mailed. The DS2019 is physical as well. So you need to actually be sure that you're in that address. That getting mailed to. Yeah.
All right. So if you're actually, for example, out of the country, you want to make sure it's being mailed to where you are at that point.
Yes. Basically. And they will do it. They will mail it. They will mail it to that place.
Okay. Thank you for that. On that note, thank you once again, Dr. Jeremiah, for being here and giving us all this information. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, right? And then you should subscribe as well. And make sure you leave a comment below if you have any questions. I will leave Dr. Jeremiah's Instagram and mine, so you can always reach out to us if you have any questions. And yeah, thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Bye.
Thank you, guys.